All right, this is Dr. Dan Ritchie, president of the Functional Aging Institute, and welcome to this webinar, Top 5 Tactics that are working to attract the mature audience. I'm really excited to get to do this webinar today. I gave this talk, and I'm going to give a little more information at the Functional Aging Summit a couple of weeks ago. And so for those of you that were in attendance there and weren't napping or weren't sleeping or talking to your neighbor, this will be new stuff to you. And for those of you that missed that conference, this will be brand new stuff to you. So excited to share some of this. Feel free to go ahead and post questions or comments in the questions area. That's helpful to me as we move along. So I'll get to those towards the end mostly. I am recording this session, so if you have to leave early, you will be emailed the recording. That's not your ticket to leave early, but in case you want to leave early or you're afraid you're going to miss something, you will get it emailed to you. So, the marketing challenge, your mission, should you choose to accept it. Obviously, we have to find them. We need to engage with them. We need to get them to know, like, and trust you. So you need to define who the them is, right? So are you going after 50 to 60-year-olds, 55 to 60-year-olds, 60 to 65-year-olds, 65 to 70-year-olds? The whole group, 50 to 70, can be a little bit too big. Are you going after men? Are you going after women? Are you going after people that have a particular interest? So you need to find them where they are at, where they live, eat, and play. You need to begin to engage with them through some sort of dialogue. At some point, you're going to have to sell them on your product, your services, whether it's online, whether it's a physical product, or whether it's a fitness service, a coaching program, whatever it is. And obviously, you're going to have to serve and satisfy them. So pretty straightforward there. The top 5 tactics that we find are working now for our facility, Miracles Fitness here in West Lafayette and Lafayette, Indiana, are these 5 here. And so obviously for an online fitness program, some of these apply, some of them would not. So number 1, consistently number 1 for us has been email marketing. Email marketing has probably been number 1 for us since probably 2010, when we really started getting aggressive in the email marketing. At that point, I would say we were definitely ahead of the local market in terms of email marketing. And even today, I think we're probably still ahead of most local businesses' email marketing efforts. People simply are not doing it consistently, and they're not doing it well by and large. So they're too sporadic with it. In fact, I just talked to a small business owner and asked when the last time she emailed their list, and she said it's been months. Well, if you haven't emailed in months, then you're really not doing email marketing at all. Facebook is growing in success for us. Our Facebook fan page is closing in on 1,500 likes, which is pretty strong for us, considering we have about 300 to 350 clients at any given time. And so our Facebook presence is definitely growing in the community. People are seeing us there. Facebook is obviously much more viral and engaging than email. And so that's a growing tool. And of course, Facebook ads are a powerful way we can communicate in a very niched way. Facebook allows you to really dial in, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Video has been very powerful for us, YouTube, Facebook, and TV. You may be in a market where you think, well, TV advertising is just way too expensive. And that's very possible. If you're in Los Angeles, it's probably going to be too expensive for you to be on television. If you're in Chicago or New York, probably too expensive. But if you're not in a major metropolitan area, a major city, you definitely should look into TV and at least explore it. You may find it's cheaper. There are so many dilutions of the cable market now that it really allows opportunities in the TV realm. We buy our TV spots typically for $1 a TV spot. So a 30-second ad is running for $1. Now, I don't know about you, but you're not going to find anything in the newspaper or print ads or direct mail that's as cheap as $1 a spot. Now, obviously, that's relative, right? I'm only reaching 800, 1,200, 1,500 homes with $1 TV spot. And People don't watch live TV, it's DVR'd and all those sorts of things, right? So I understand that, but it's something worth looking into. In our market, we have a local TV station, and then we have Comcast cable, and then we have Metronet fiber optic. And so between Metronet and Comcast, I can buy networks like CNBC and Travel Channel and TV Land and Golf Network and Big Ten Network for $1 a spot. And so I pick networks like CNBC that I know older clients, my demographic, are watching, and advertise on there for $1 a spot. So people are seeing our commercials, they're seeing me talking, they're seeing our presence, they're getting to know who we are. If TV is too expensive, you can use YouTube and Facebook in your local market to still build that sort of TV celebrity, that commercial atmosphere. You put some nice 30, 60, 90-second spots up on YouTube, and then you can run those through your Facebook page, and you can run those through Facebook ads. And Facebook typically will allow you to run video ads for as cheap as 2 cents a view, and so you can still reach thousands of people in your demographic in your market for very, very low cost through video ads. BNI, Business Networking International, really powerful. If you don't know a lot of people in your community, this is going to be a great way for you to ramp up the number of people that know, like, and trust you, because now you're going to have 30 to 40 other business owners that are out there telling people, hey, this Dan Ritchie guy, he's legit, he's for real, you can trust him, he's running a great business. And so it's just a really powerful networking group. There's this power in your social capital, and so social capital really can be defined as the number of social networks and connections you have. And then that does translate to dollars. And so if you know 50 other business owners and have good relationships with them, that in turn is going to help build your net worth, your capital, your influence in your community. And so BNI has been very helpful to me. I've been in a BNI chapter now since July of 2007. So coming up here on my 8-year anniversary. It's hard to believe, but I absolutely attribute much of my success and growth in my local market to BNI. Lastly, our book. We have a book that we share. It's about a 160-page book called Never Grow Old. Cody and I are the authors of that. I'm on the cover. That has been a powerful tool. It's an easy thing to give out. It has perceived value. You give someone your book, it's like, wow, thanks for giving me your book. That has real value to it. That obviously also immediately raises your level of credibility, and I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit. So email marketing, just some of the basics. And I don't care how big your list is right now. You should always be working on building your list. The list is king, and the money's in the list. So if your list has 100 people, there's a certain amount of money in that list. If your list has 1,000 people, there's a certain amount of money in that list. If your list is 10,000, there's a certain amount of money in that list. And it's not always just list size, but quality of the list. So you could have a list of 10,000 people, and if 8,000 of them live in a different market, it's not very valuable to you as a personal trainer. And so my list currently for my local business is 3,275 people. And there's money in that list. If I need to get some trial clients in, I can do that. If I need to work on getting some new clients in, I can do that. So the list is really, really important. In fact, you know, your business valuation, your accountant per se will tell you that your contact database is a big piece in terms of how much your business is worth. If you can demonstrate you have a list of 300 clients, you have a list of 300 former clients, you have a list of 2,000 prospects, there's a value in that list. And so you always want to be building your list. Now, what are some ways you can build your list? And a lot of times people overlook this. So you have to be consistent with somebody walks in your door and getting their contact information so you can follow up, so you can get them on your email list. Somebody walks in, I'd like to put you on my fitness newsletter. Somebody calls you on the phone. Well, could I get your email so that we could set up an appointment? Somebody comes in for a tour or a consultation, get their email address. You're standing in line at Starbucks and somebody says, oh, you're a personal trainer. Yeah, I own my own personal training studio. Can I get your name and email address? I'd love to shoot you a promo for 14 days of free training. You know they may never come in for the free training, but you're getting their name and their email address. So always, always, always be building your list. Look for health fairs to go to so you can build your list. Sometimes we don't think of events, places where we can booth or expo as opportunities for fitness folks, but they're opportunities to build your list. So we participate in community college health fairs. We participate in Purdue Health Fairs, caregiver fairs, any sort of opportunity where we're going to get in front of 100 to 200 to 300 people. Purdue retirees have a conference every year. We get there and we get as many email addresses as we can. And so always, always be building your list because that's going to help grow your business. We ran a Labor Day sale campaign a couple of years ago. 2 emails, $85,000. We sent out an email on Saturday, we sent out an email on Labor Day, and that was it. We sent out 2 emails. We didn't do any other advertising. I think we may have posted it on Facebook and a few people shared that. And we did $85,000. That's not contract money. That wasn't overtime. That was $85,000 in people actually paying check, cash, credit card for training. So email marketing is very powerful, especially if you're going to run a sale. And holidays are a good time to run a sale. Now, the reason I did this was I needed to come up with $35,000 quickly, and I had to do this really quick. So I basically ran a sale, and within 3 or 4 days had more than the money I needed for our brand new building. So the money is in the list, and you always, always want to be building your list. All right, let's talk about Facebook. Be curious to know how many of you are using Facebook. You can just hit the raise your hand symbol for me. So I'm curious how many of you are even using Facebook, because I know a lot of people have still not entered the Facebook realm. They're like, oh, I don't know how to use Facebook. I'm not sure about it. So, oh, good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh, a whole bunch of hands going up. Great. So that's great. And for those of you who are like, I'm not sure about Facebook yet, that's totally fine. So I'm going to try to keep this simple and concise. And if you want more advanced, I'm going to point to the webinar with Scott and a previous webinar I've done just on Facebook marketing. So you want to be posting 2 to 3 times daily. The only exception to that would be if you really don't want to use Facebook, or you're not going to use it for a while, then just post 2 to 3 times a month. If you post 2 to 3 times a month, at least you look like you're open for business, as opposed to if I pop onto your Facebook page and I realize, oh, Mark posted on his Facebook personal training page in January. I wonder if he's actually open for business, right? So you don't want that impression. So if you're not going to use Facebook, at least post twice a month. So if somebody happens by, and people do find our personal training studios on our Facebook pages, you want to make sure you look like you're alive and well. So, but otherwise you want to be posting 2 to 3 times daily. And I recommend you schedule those posts. So don't try to get on Facebook and post 2 to 3 times daily. Schedule out 8, 10, 15, 20 posts. So literally on Tuesday at 2 o'clock, you might schedule your next 15 Facebook posts. One of my trainers does this for me most of the time, and she'll schedule them out 6 to 9 in a chunk. And she's posting videos, she's posting testimonials, she's posting pictures, you know, fitness tips, recipes, all sorts of things, right? I mean, be real. Don't just post, hey, come train with me. Okay, so post interesting things that people want to see, and you can use the scheduling feature. So you can do this at 10 o'clock at night if you want, and then schedule the posts throughout the day. So we like to do something first thing in the morning, something between 7 and 9 a.m., Try to post something around lunchtime. 12 and 1 is usually a pretty good time. People get back from lunch and they check their Facebook, or people are on lunch and they check their Facebook. And then post something in the evening, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. But you can mix up your times a little bit and see what's a home run in your market, but typically something in the morning, something midday, and something in the evening. Videos. You want to make sure you're uploading the video to Facebook. Okay, I'm going to say that again. This might be one of the most valuable tips I give you to increase your reach on Facebook. Upload the video to Facebook. Don't put a link to YouTube. Don't put a link to your website. Don't put a link to where the video is. Upload the video to Facebook. Think of it as Facebook is at war with YouTube. So if you put a YouTube link up to your YouTube channel, Facebook will show it to like 7 people. If you upload the video, they might now show it to 70 or 100 people. And I have seen this recently on our Facebook page. When we upload the video, we get 2 to 5 times the views because Facebook's just happier with that. Okay, so make sure you're uploading the videos to Facebook, not linking to somewhere else. Because again, Facebook's a business. They don't want you providing a link to go to YouTube because YouTube is their enemy, right? They're arch rivals. So think of it that way. Post testimonials is a great place to post client pictures, before and after pictures, client stories, all those sorts of things. And tell your client, hey, Susie, I put up your weight loss story. Make sure you tell your friends. It's helpful if Susie's on Facebook. I mentioned Susie because we have a Susie who lost like 80 pounds and she's not even on Facebook, so she can't like it or share it or comment. But if they're on Facebook, have them like it, comment, have them share it, have their friends get on there and brag about them, stuff like that. So, so learn to use ads and pixels. And I'm really just going to recommend you watch the webinar that we did with Scott. That's on our YouTube channel, our Functional Aging Institute YouTube channel. We have the webinar with Scott. And we're probably going to need to do an advanced webinar with Scott. But you need to start dabbling with ads and pixels. And I'll explain just briefly what those are. And so you can go into your Facebook account and click Create an Ad. And you can start with as little as $5 a day, which if you're brand new at it, that's what I'd recommend. And you want to come up with some sort of image that you like for your facility, or an image that you think is going to attract your avatar, whether it's men or women or whatever their age is. Come up with a headline. And you can use a variety of images. So I'll typically come up with a headline like, who would like to lose 12 pounds this summer? Or would you like to feel better and move better? Or is it time to, what's one I've used recently? Is it time for you to finally get in shape? You can use a variety of different headlines. Come up with one that you think communicates well for your business. Try 3 or 4 different pictures and see what happens. Now, you have to have the ad going somewhere. So it has to either go to your website or it has to go to a squeeze page. A squeeze page is a place where they're going to go and give you their email address. So you need to have it going to a page that matches the ad. So a bad ad would be, learn how to put on 15 pounds of muscle, and then they go to your website, which talks about how to lose 20 pounds. There's a disconnect there. So make sure the ad is consistent with the page you're sending them to. And if you don't have a squeeze page builder, you can use something like Lead Pages or FitPro Newsletter. There's a couple different options, but they're really simple. Basically, you're telling somebody, hey, who would like to lose 12 pounds in the next 3 months? And they click on your ad, they go somewhere where they're landing on a page. Maybe it's a page on your website or your blog where it says, hey, thanks for coming here. I'm going to share with you the secrets of how I help my clients lose 15 pounds in 15 weeks, and give them some great information. And then, enter your email address here if you'd like more information or my free report or for me to contact you. Okay. So it's pretty simple. Here's the key. It only costs $5 a day. You can spend more, but start with $5 a day and test what's working. So you may need to change the pictures. You may need to change the headline. You may need to tweak those things just a little bit. But it's a very low cost way to start getting people to engage with you your content and give you their email address. So again, I encourage you to check out the webinar that I did with Scott Rawcliffe. It's on our YouTube channel, Functional Aging Institute on YouTube, and he does a lengthy full hour webinar on Facebook, and he gave a really nice presentation at our summit on Facebook as well, and he's been helping us ramp up our Facebook presence. So now with YouTube, Facebook, and TV marketing, here's where on Facebook you can start to build sort of this TV video celebrity. So you may be in a market where you can't afford TV. That's fine. But you can use YouTube and Facebook to build this know, like, and trust you factor. So if people feel like they're seeing you in video everywhere, it just really helps to establish credibility and for you to become an authority. So people are going to be more comfortable parting with their money if they already like you. And I have found this time and time again. If they've already seen me in 5 videos, well, if they don't like and trust me from those videos, they're probably never coming in to part with their money, right? So my videos, do a good job of establishing credibility, establishing my authority, and makes it much easier for people to know, like, and trust me. So by the time they come in and meet me in person, they're like, oh, you're the guy I already know from the video. I already trust you. I already like you. So warning, if you're terrible on camera, if you're just awful on video, like, you turn into this deer in the headlights and you freeze up and you panic and you breathe heavy and, you got to get better on video, or this is not even an option for you. Okay, so if you just are awful on camera, can't ever get comfortable, then it's not going to establish credibility for you. It's not going to help you become an authority. In fact, it's going to repel people, right? They're going to be like, wow, that person is kind of awkward and scary. And so usually I tell people, look, it's not that hard. I was not good on camera at first. Most of you have probably seen me on camera now through one of our videos. You just have to learn to get comfortable in your own skin and realize it's just like I'm talking to another person live in person. I'm just talking through the camera to the person on the other side. And usually after you do 2 or 3 or 4 videos, you start to realize, okay, just get comfortable. Stop forcing it. Stop feeling like you're talking to a camera and turn it into like you're talking to a person. Just like right now, I feel like I'm talking to all of you like we're on the phone together, even though none of you are talking back to me. So just remember, it takes some practice to get better at some of the videos, and then have fun with it, right? So if you're not great on camera, then grab a client and just ask them to tell their story, or grab one of your staff and do something fun and crazy. And so, when we promote Biggest Loser, I'll get 4 of my trainers and make them all do 3 or 4 crazy exercises. We film it and I'm talking over it like, hey, this is what Biggest Loser is going to look like. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do that are fun. And so Megan and I have shot half a dozen, home workouts. Celia and I shot a whole bunch of 2 to 3 minute Tabata type workouts. Hey, you can't make it into Miracles Fitness today. Here's a workout you can do. Well, that stuff's great to put on Facebook consistently, right? Because we have over 1,000 people that they're not making it into our facility ever for a workout. Well, now we're giving them great content and great options. So guess what? When they finally do get ready to use a trainer, who do you think they're going to come to? Well, they're going to come to the ones that they've already been using or training with, via Facebook. So a powerful way, if you haven't explored TV, if you're in a market 500,000 people or less, I encourage you, contact your local TV stations, contact your cable companies, contact your internet providers, and find out what the options are, because cable and some of the different internet providers have really shrunk the TV markets. As Metronet has entered our market, they have a reach of about 4,000 homes. Well, guess what? The homes they're reaching are high-end homes for people that want fiber optic, top-of-the-line internet speed. So they're in affluent homes. So you think I want to be advertising on those TVs? Absolutely. Do you think I like that it's only $1 a spot? Absolutely. So if you're in a TV market of 500,000 or less, I'd encourage you to check that out. You might find it's a lot more affordable than you ever would have guessed. BNI, I mentioned before. So I put on here, join a BNI. I think it should be a priority for you if you're a business owner to be networked with other business owners. There's a lot of power in that. But before you join a BNI, I encourage you to visit 2 or 3 or 4 BNI chapters, especially if you're in a town that allows that. Now, I'm in a market of 175,000 people roughly, 2 towns, one about 30,000, one about 60,000. I have no idea where the other 80,000 people are living. I guess they live outside the city limits in and around the county. And we have 5 BNI chapters in our market. So most markets of 100,000 or more will have some BNI chapters. It's an international networking group. It's all around the world. I think there's over 10,000 chapters now. So it's really helpful to have 30 to 40 other business owners as friends, as colleagues, as contacts. It's helpful to me to always have a plumber I can call, always have an electrician if I need advice, always have a HVAC guy, an architect, a builder, a payroll person. My payroll company's in my BNI chapter. My printer is in my BNI chapter. My architect is in my BNI chapter. I have traded personal training with my builder for remodeling my kitchen and my bathroom floors and things of that nature. So there are just so many connections. My photographer for my business is in my BNI chapter. On and on and on, right? So social capital is power and influence. It really is very much, you have connections, you know people. Our Functional Aging Institute event was made possible purely by social power, social capital, social network. Cody and I have spent a lot of years in the fitness industry, getting to know a lot of people, helping a lot of people, reaching out to a lot of people, serving a lot of people, and we were able to put on an event largely due to social capital. I mean, that's how we got our lineup of speakers. We reached out to people that we have known over the years, and we're able to line them up to speak at our event. And so don't underestimate the power of being well networked. It's too hard to go it alone as an entrepreneur and be solo and try to do things all on your own. You don't want to be an island all alone. And so I strongly encourage you to find a networking group. There usually are other types if there's not a BNI in your neighborhood. But the reason I like BNI a lot better than a Chamber of Commerce group is it's focused on business owners networking and helping each other and growing your business. And it's not just getting together to shoot the breeze. I mean, our chapter meetings are an hour and a half every week. We meet every week. Every week, every business owner gets to tell specifically what they're looking for, who they'd like to be introduced to, what they need help with. And you get to connect with everyone every week on that basis, and there's a power in that. Write a book. It isn't as hard as you think. You might be thinking, oh, it's really hard to write a book. I could never write a book. It's not as hard as you think. First of all, it doesn't have to be as long as you think. A book can be 50 pages. A book can be 75 pages. You can probably write 30 to 40 pages of content, throw in some great pictures of exercise movements and training movements, and voila, you have a 75 to 80 page book that's very high value. Immediately increases your status. Instead of handing somebody your business card, you hand them your book. They go, wow, you're an author? You published a book? It's just going to increase your authority, especially with boomers and seniors. I mean, there's no doubt that generation values a book. They value writing. They value content. It's going to be something they're going to put on their coffee table or, throw on the shelf somewhere, on the dining room table, sit on their office desk. It's going to have lasting value. Your business card may be lost within 6 hours. It's a great gift. It's also a great referral tool. Right? You literally give it to your client as they walk out the door and say, hey, remember you telling me about Betty and she's kind of afraid to come in and train with me? Well, give her my book and tell her I can't wait to hear what she thinks about it. Right? Well, she gives that book to Betty and Betty goes, whoa, your trainer's written a book? I guarantee you she's going to spend at least 20 minutes flipping through it. And really, here's the thing with the book not being as hard as you think. You want your book to be able to be something that somebody can read in 30 to 45 minutes and immediately go, I like this gal, I like this gal, I think they get me, I think I want to try training with them. So you're not writing a book that somebody's going to take 3 hours to read. I mean, literally, it should be 30 to 50 pages of written content, and then maybe 20 to 30 pages of pictures and images of why it's so fun to train with you. Okay, it doesn't have to be overly complex. In fact, it really should be in 30 minutes. The person's like, hey, I think I really want to get to know this guy better. I think this gal gets me, and I want to come check out her training place, right? So it's way more powerful than a business card or a postcard that isn't going to communicate that. All right, the book. So Cody and I redid our book, Never Grow Old, which you can see here. This is an Amazon snapshot. We made the bestsellers list, so nobody can ever take that away from us. We are actually international bestsellers. We hit the top. We hit #1 in several categories in 6 countries. Amazon has a bunch of different categories. We were in holistic under alternative medicine, and then under health, fitness, and dieting, we were also under personal aging. And so, so that's just a nice thing, which, you know, you may or may not ever hit bestseller status on Amazon, but keep in mind your book could be on Kindle, where people could be picking it up online as well. So really simple. So we've actually made it really easy, and we announced this at the Functional Aging Summit. We've made it really easy for those of you that want to get a done-for-you book, and I'm actually finishing up the manuscript for this. It's a personalized version of our Never Grow Old book, which has been shortened down, and basically it's a done-for-you book. So if you're the kind of person that's like, I need a done-for-you resource, I'm never writing a book, but I see this as a powerful tool, especially if you speak in the community a lot or do a lot of seminars. You can hand out 15, 20 books. Boom. That's a really powerful business card. If you've got a doctor's mailing list, you can mail out your book. Very powerful, right? You could have your book sitting in every doctor's office waiting room. Okay, so it's a done-for-you functional fitness book. Basically, you customize the title. So younger, longer, you could title it whatever you want, right? Get your studio name in there. You customize the title, you customize the subtitle. Obviously, the author name becomes you. Cover photo, business branding, all of that stuff. So the whole cover is really up to you. The introduction chapter is very much up to you. You can write the entire introduction chapter, or you can just go with the content as is. We strongly recommend you write the introduction chapter. The client testimonials, we strongly recommend you use yours, but if you don't, we have some ones from around the country that you can enter in as some sample Functional Aging Institute client testimonials. Obviously, your bio and your photo is going to go in there, and your special offer sales copy. So you're going to have some sort of special offer. Hey, thanks for reading my book. I really hope it helped you. You know, would love to see you come in and train to our facility, and whatever you use as your special offer hook, you know, whether it's a free training session with you, whether it's a 14-day program, whatever you're comfortable with would go in there. So if you want more information on that, you know, if you've always thought about doing a book but just never quite done it, you can visit our book consultants website at bookitauthors.com/FAI. And you can get the whole done for you book. I think I might have a little more information on that. Yeah, so you get regional author exclusivity. So basically, if you're in Cleveland, you're going to be the only author within, you know, a 10 to 15 mile radius of your facility. So there's not going to be this book floating all around Cleveland. So it's going to be very exclusive to you. It's going to cost you $2.50 per book. We set it up for you. We manage the account on Amazon, and you can order as many books as you want. Literally no minimum turnaround, no minimum orders, and it's a really fast turnaround. You know, so if you say, hey, I want this, we're going to have this set up to turn around in about 21 days. We are almost set up to do that as we finalize the book. Once the book's finalized, it will be literally a 21-day turnaround. You say, I want this book, and boom. It's really just how long does it take you to get us the customized info. Oh, and there's the price. So that's a $1,800 program, and we work with a Amazon book consultant who helped us get to bestseller, and you'll work directly with this gal here, Nicole, who has taken a number of people to Amazon bestseller. And if you want to publish your own book, she does that as well. So if you're saying, hey, I don't want a done for you FAI book, I want a book on wellness coaching or nutrition or diet or whatever, you want to write a novel, she does that as well. And she can help you do the whole thing from beginning to end, to editors, cover design, everything. So the whole 9 yards. So again, bookitauthors.com/FAI. Okay. So moving on, if you have more questions on the writing a book, you can post that in the question box. It's definitely something that I've been excited about. So we are sold out of our books here at Miracles Fitness. I have lost track of how many hundreds we have gone through, but our clients buy them right off the counter as gifts to give away, which is kind of cool. So. And then we give them away to physical therapy patients that come in. I give them away at events. My book's popping up all over the place, which is great. My goal is to get 1,000 books out in my community by the end of this year, and I think we're closing in on 300. So you literally give away the book like you're, trying to get a horse to drink water. I mean, you want that thing everywhere. So. Really powerful tool. And books have staying power, right? You give somebody a postcard or a card, they don't keep it. You give somebody a book, they have a hard time throwing that away. So it either winds up on a shelf, on a coffee table, or they give it to somebody, or it's not going to wind up in the trash can. So we've kind of covered this, but again, boomers are online and you should be too. So you've got to be active, either blogging or emailing. You do not have to have a blog. You can use your email list to essentially send blog posts, but if you have a blog, that's great too, because then you can send an email and say, hey, look at the new blog post I wrote. You can put a blog post on your Facebook page. Hey, check out the new blog post. So you always have a content piece. Absolutely should be doing YouTube. Boomers are the TV generation, so video. You don't have to have high-tech camera equipment. Simple flip cam works. The key to video is sound. So if you have a simple flip cam, you just want to make sure the sound is good. I have a Kodak ZI-8 and I use a microphone plug-in. So it's great if you can get a flip cam that either has really high quality external microphone or has a microphone plug-in, so you can plug in a mic for sound. And then Pinterest, I think, is a growing option, especially for women. A lot of women on Pinterest, and I've seen some definite benefits of that as well. So we'll probably be looking at starting a Pinterest page here locally. And obviously there are more things coming online, things like Nextdoor and different community type programs that are sort of mimicking Facebook. Of course, Twitter is another option as well. So there are many. LinkedIn I haven't found very useful for local business. But I have found it useful for connecting with other trainers around the country. So it tends to be I find it more of a business-to-business networking. Now let's just talk briefly about what sells. Since I can't hear you, I can imagine chuckling of what you're thinking. But sure, we know that sex sells, but that's not actually what we're talking about here. So what sells, especially with boomers, is self-actualization. Okay, if we think about sort of the hierarchy of needs as we mature, obviously our immediate physiological needs and our safety, those are really things that are really more of our kind of childhood maturing. We reach a certain age of self-actualization, and so we want to think about those messages through our marketing. Typically someone who's 55 or 60 is not thinking about dramatically changing who they are. You might get a 28-year-old or a 30-year-old to embrace that, right? If they're 50 pounds overweight and they want to become a super fit, lean, ripped, buff person, they want to be a totally different version of themselves, you might be able to be effective with that. Typically, we're going to be much less effective with that with somebody in their 50s and 60s because they've reached this self-actualization. And so your products really need to kind of speak to these sorts of things. And you want to associate your products with sort of peak experiences, whether it's the product itself or what it's going to do for someone in terms of, how is this going to allow you to do the things that you really enjoy to do, want to do, dream to do, aspire to do, as opposed to some sort of massive change in who you are. Okay, so think about peak experiences, when you're selling. Also, try to interweave in your email, your blogs, your Facebook, your different online presences, your community action, and don't do it in a, hey, look at me, we're doing this great charity thing. Do it in a fun way, just like you would on Facebook, right? So like we did a food drive, people brought in caseloads of food. They brought in all kinds of unhealthy cereals, which always sort of makes me chuckle. But then we stacked it up in the fitness center and we took some funny pictures with it, and we just kind of share that stuff on Facebook. We did a apple board for a school, and we pinned a whole bunch of apples on the board and encouraged people to grab an apple for the local school that really was a school that the teachers had no support from their parents, from their community, it was a definite lower income school. And so we said, hey, we're going to do miracles for Murdoch, and we gathered up all kinds of school supplies. Funny picture of me in the pink hard hat. Hey, have a good time with yourself, make fun of yourself, whatever it takes. We raised $2,700 for Habitat for Humanity Women's Build. So they give out pink hard hats to men in the community who will raise money for the women's build. And so I basically took pictures of myself in the pink hard hat, went to events and wore the pink hard hat. I probably played along more than I needed to, but that's all right. So, but share this stuff in a way, and just so people know that you are being active in the community. Your clients appreciate that. Give your clients opportunities to give. A great example of this, the builder who built Miracles Fitness does a charity bike ride every year, and he just asked me, hey Dan, can you help me raise more money for my charity bike ride? I want to be the #1 donor contributor to this charity bike ride. I said, well, tell me about the bike ride. I said, well, it's for CASA. It's court appointed special advocates for kids that wind up in the court system, and they need an advocate for them. Essentially, they're either going to be placed in foster care, they're in an abusive situation. It's not a good situation for the kid, and the court has appointed a special advocate, and he's raising money for this group, right? I said, well, I think my clients are going to love that. They're going to be all about what you're doing to help kids in our community that really need help, that the system needs to help them. And so all I did was send out an email. I just sent out an email to my clients, my non-clients, my email list. I just sent out an email and said, hey, Pat, the builder at Miracles Fitness who built our building, great guy, he's doing a charity bike ride out at Subaru. And Subaru has a test track. They do this charity bike ride, and it's a crazy charity bike ride. It's like a 24-hour marathon. How many miles can you ride kind of thing for the kids, and can you raise some money, right? And so Pat emails me, what did you do? What have you done? And I said, I didn't do anything. All I did was send out the email that you shared with me about this thing. And he said, I've had 1,000, like $1,200 has come in the last 2 hours. And he couldn't thank me enough. And he became the #1 donor by over $2,000. And I think he got close to $2,000 from my clients. Now, I didn't even ask my clients for money. All I did was tell them about what Pat was doing and say, hey, if you want to support him or donate to his cause, click here. Here's his donation page. I never asked them to do it. I just kind of gave them the opportunity. I did not have a single client complain, hey, what are you doing asking us to donate money? I didn't really ask. I just kind of told them about what our builder was doing. I actually had half a dozen clients thank me for giving them the opportunity. So it was kind of a revelation to me that people are looking for things in their community to support, to give to get behind, and they're looking for good things happening around your community. And so if you can give them an opportunity, that's just a really cool thing to do. So that was really cool and kind of eye-opening to me. Hey, we got to give people opportunities to give back to their community. So here's an example. We went to the mayors and we asked the mayors and challenged the mayors, hey, what will you do to help us win the Pound for Pound Challenge? The Pound for Pound Challenge was a national program. That Biggest Loser TV show, Subway, I think, was part of it. Feeding America and General Mills all got together. And basically it was a local food bank fundraiser. And what they did was they said, if you can generate a local campaign, a lot of publicity, we will give $10,000 grants to your food bank. And so our local food bank, Food Finders, came to me and said, what can we do? And I said, well, let's get the mayors involved and let's do a celebrity workout and let's have a press release kind of launch date. And both mayors came and we had both mayors speak at our facility. We had about 40 people show up for a public event of launching the Pound for Pound Challenge, and then these guys came in and did a celebrity workout, and we did a mayor versus mayor, the West Lafayette versus Lafayette, and really kind of had a fun time with it, right? And that's really all it was a publicity stunt. You know, we put on a sort of a call-out event, had both mayors come and give a proclamation, and then we had both mayors do a 30-minute workout that we filmed, put that video out, and our food bank won a $10,000 grant, which that was really cool, you know. And so we continue to use this image and the video now almost 4 years later, and people still comment about the mayors doing that. And they're both still the mayors in our town. They're both really popular guys, and people really like them, and so that's been great for our business. Here I am being interviewed on the local TV station. If you have opportunities to get on the morning news, absolutely do it. Okay, don't be afraid of it. Just get on there and have fun. In fact, a lot of times you can have a great time with the anchors because they'll do all sorts of different exercises. So this is Laura Kirtley. I got to know her really well when she was here with WLFI, and I spent about 2 years going in 1 to 2 times a month and doing all kinds of different crazy exercise routines with her for 2 to 3 minutes in the morning. It was an absolute blast, great exposure. She moved on to a bigger market in southern Indiana, and as soon as my book came out, who do you think I contacted? Laura Kirtley. Hey, can I come do an interview on your morning news talk show? And so really, really nice. If you want to see this video, this interview, you can go to Functional Fitness Solution. I'll put it in the chat box here. You go to functionalfitnesssolution.com, and we actually put this whole interview right there live for you to watch. So it kind of just shows, hey, you know, Dr. Dan's been on TV, and he's the real deal. So just briefly about a couple of our programs, and then I want to show you one opportunity we've got coming up. If you're not a functional aging specialist, encourage you to check out our website on that. You get CECs from all the major organizations. 13 educational modules, 5 hours of video. There's a 90-question test. It's not easy. It is legit. 90-question test in 90 minutes. There's 12 manuals. I think it's about 120 to 130 pages of reading. So there's quite a bit of material there, but it's also not overwhelming. We tell most people it's about 10 hours of total content, and that's what it's approved for CECs, 10 hours or 1.0. Our goal is to get to 1 million people being helped by the Functional Aging Institute. The way we're going to do that is with your help. So we need 10,000 trainers that are all impacting 100 lives. We actually believe that 10,000 trainers can impact 1,000 lives over the course of their career. And so long term, the Functional Aging Institute can impact 10 million older adults for a much more positive aging experience. A couple of kind of spillover effects that we see from people focused on the boomer market and your boomer marketing in general is that if you do it right, you're going to spill over to other populations. So you're going to get 40 to 50-year-old women that are attracted to your message. You're going to get older seniors, so people over 70 are going to be attracted to your concept, to your marketing, to your images, to your concept, to what you're doing, right? They're going to say, well, wow, if you can do this. In fact, if you're training 55-year-old women, 60-year-old women, guess what? They probably have a mom. They may even have a dad that could use your service, and they're going to be comfortable bringing them into you. course, you're going to get some clinical populations as well, and so some specialized populations, and so those are just all bonuses that kind of spill over from marketing to this effort. So I like to share this picture. Sometimes people like to know, what are you guys reading? What's on your bookshelf? This is a picture of Cody's bookshelf. The two books right in the middle that we tend to call out first are the Dan Kennedy books. So the No BS Marketing to Boomers and Seniors, and the No BS Marketing to the Affluent. Both of those are really helpful reads, but obviously there's a whole bunch here. Ageless Marketing, Turning Silver into Gold, Dot Boom, Boomer Selling. There are more and more coming out now that really are focused on this market, and you need to start thinking about how we communicate our marketing messages. So one other opportunity that I wanted to show you, two things we have coming up this summer. We have our Functional Aging Business Building Workshop, and I'm going to copy that into the link box here for you. So the Functional Aging Business Building Workshop, it's a 2-day, we used to call it the Advanced Functional Aging Specialist, but we've changed the name. We realize some people, they don't really care about personal training certifications, they care about the business. So this really has always been a business building workshop. It's really the next level for functional aging specialists, but you do not have to be a functional aging specialist. If you're not one, you'll get the functional aging specialist with it. If you are one, you get that price credited towards your ticket. And so if you have wanted to spend 2 days at our facility, this is a way that you can do it. And so you know, what we tell people is, you come spend 2 days with us. The 2-day schedule's on here. So the first day we spend most of the morning really breaking down the nuts and bolts of both our facilities. We have 2 facilities, and you get to tour both of them. We talk about facility design, facility layout, equipment. You get to see small group training in action. You get to see Miracles Fitness live and in action, what goes on here. You can copy our carpet color, our wall colors, our toilets. I don't care. You can copy the whole business model. It's all here for you to copy, beg, borrow, and steal the whole model. And then that afternoon, we really break down the nuts and bolts of building a fitness business from scratch. So really, the people that have come here for this, and we had a great group in April of 5. We typically have 5 to 10 people that come in for this. What they do is they find 3, 4, 5 attributes of Miracles Fitness they love and they want to copy and they want to model. And then they find a handful of things that they either don't want to do or they can't do or they have no interest in doing, and that's totally fine, right? So it's sort of the best of both worlds. You get to come and really model and borrow our business model and take the pieces you want to take and leave the rest. We provide lunch both days. We provide dinner on Friday. That whole afternoon, the first day, we really discuss kind of business models and starting from the ground up. If you have a current facility, we talk about, you know, how you can modify your current facility, how you can make some changes. We talk about atmosphere, facility design, all those kinds of things. Day 2, we really focused in then on business building tactics, your business, lead generation, referral strategies, networking opportunities, cross promotions. Again, we have lunch together, and that whole afternoon we spend focused coaching your business. So you're going to leave with a plan for, how do I open a business? You're going to leave with a plan for, how do I get 50 more clients in my business? You're going to leave with strategies to redefine your business and regrow your business. And we're offering this again July 31st and August 1st. We do it here at our facilities, so you do have to travel to West Lafayette and Lafayette, Indiana. And there's a link there to reserve your spot. So if you have more questions on that, shoot me an email. The other opportunity we have going on this summer is our Advanced Business Coaching Day. We offered this in Phoenix and had 9 people after the summit do a full day of coaching. what we found is extremely valuable because they got to spend a whole day just focused in on, okay, so what do I really do next with my business, right? And literally we just give them a plan, a roadmap for what they need to do. And you know, if it's build your email list, if it's email your email list, if it's work on Facebook, we're going to do that and we're going to coach you. It's really no different than you coaching your clients. So if you're trying to get from 30 clients to 50, we're going to coach you on that plan. If you're trying to get from 50 to 100, 100 to 200, it's a full day of coaching. This actually is taking place in Los Angeles on July 18th. So if you're in California, July 18th is where we're going to do it in the LA area. So again, you can click there to reserve your spot. I'll put this link up as well here for you, so you've got it. All right, that is all I have for everyone today. At this point, if you've got any questions, go ahead and post those. Any comments, any jeering or cheering, go ahead and put that stuff in the question box. Of course, you can always email me at the contact at Functional Aging Institute email. But any questions, we'll take those. Again, this is recording, so for those of you listening later, we're glad that you joined us. And if you have any questions, obviously you can't post them now. So what you can do is contact me directly and tell me what you thought of the webinar. And if you had any questions, you can email me at the email I just plugged in the chat box. So the contact at functionalaginginstitute.com. So I'm going to stick around for just a few more minutes here and see if we have any questions. So Dawn was hoping to come to the coaching in LA, but I guess that's not going to work out. So maybe the Indiana one will work. So any other questions or comments from anyone? Thanks, Jan. Always appreciate that. Lisa, what were the 3 categories for an email list? Good question. So email lists really need to be categorized. You need to break your email list into what I call buckets. Some people call them lists, groups. If you're using FitPro Newsletter, it calls them groups. I think Constant Contact just calls them lists. But you've got to get them into categories. So the simplest way to think of that would be current clients. So those are people that are training with you right now, right? They're coming in on a weekly basis. Former clients, so these are people that are not training with you, but they have in the past. And then prospects, so these are people that are not current clients and they've never been a former client. They've never trained with you. Now, obviously, each of those 3 categories can be broken down even more. And I encourage people to get pretty precise with their email list. So in our FitPro newsletter, I think we have about 14 different buckets. So we have current clients, and we have West Lafayette clients, and we have Lafayette clients, and then we have one more category for clients that are no longer training with us but only doing health club membership, right? They've decided, I just want to work out here. So we kind of have 4 categories of clients. And then in our prospects, we have a number of categories. So our former clients are on our prospect list, but our former clients are also on a list of just former clients. So our prospect list may have 7 different categories. So it might be prospects, and then there may be a list of people who have never trained with us, people who are former clients, people who did a 3, 4, 6 week promo. So they're not technically former clients, but they are people who've tried us before. And so you can have a lot of different categories. And then you might even have some categories for, you know, people you met at a particular health fair. So like we have a Ivy Tech health fair list. Those are all people that we met at that community college health fair. And so the nuts and bolts of it, Lisa, is prospects, former clients, clients, and then you can have more specialization under each of those. So great question. You don't want one giant email list because you don't want to be marketing special offers to clients. If there's anything clients will get annoyed with, it's you sending them special offers to train with you. They'll come in and say, Lisa, I'm already training with you. Stop sending me those emails. So great question. All right, Jan, you can't find our webinar with Scott on our YouTube channel. We've got a Facebook webinar with Scott, and I think it's under our webinar series. So I'll have to make sure that it is been made public. It's possible whoever put it up there. I'm checking right now. It's possible whoever put it up there didn't make it public. If that's the case, you won't ever find it. There's also an email and Facebook marketing 101 for mature clients is on our YouTube channel. I just saw that. I'm going to find it here real quick, Jan, because I want people on the recording to be able to find it easily. It's possible it's on a different Facebook channel. Yep, that's what happened. It is on a different Facebook channel, so I will email that out because I'm going to have to find that. I thought we had gotten it on our FAI channel, but clearly we have not. So let me see if I can find it real quick, and I'll post the link. No, unfortunately, I'm not finding it. I know where it's at. I'm going to go grab it, and I will email that out, and I'll post it on our Facebook wall. I know I posted it on our Facebook wall before, and then I'm going to get that uploaded to our FAI channel. I forgot our webinar recordings on that go direct to my personal Dan M. Ritchie channel, so sorry about that. Kent Wilson, I'm trying to figure out how this logistically works with your 3 major lists. Okay, so in a nutshell, I want to send offers to prospects, people who have never trained with me. I want to send them great content. I want to send them video testimonials of clients training, and every so often I want to send them a special offer to come train with us. I don't want my current clients to get those same messages. I want my current clients to get great content. I may want them to get a special offer to bring a friend in. I may want them to see some testimonials, but I don't want them to get any offers to come train with us. That's really the big differentiation. And then my former clients, obviously, my former clients are going to get a little bit different message, right? Because they've already trained with us before. So it's more of a, how can I get you to come back? In fact, I sent out an email to my former clients just this week. What do we have to do to get you to come back as clients? And so there are just slightly different messages that we're going to send them, if that makes sense. I found the webinar. I'm going to post it here. And I'm going to post it for everyone. listening to the recording, if you're still listening to the recording. So I found the webinar with Scott Rockcliffe. So Kent, I hope that helps. It's really just you want to keep your lists categorized so you're not sending former clients messages you'd send your current clients, and you're not sending current clients messages you want your prospects to get. The one thing that frustrates me is when a current client responds and says, yeah, I want to do your 21-day challenge for, $97, and I'm like, you're already doing that, that you just don't want that to happen. So Lisa, is there a best way to list build using Facebook? I don't know that there's a best way. I really like Scott's formula of running a Facebook ad to content or a blog post, and then running a Facebook ad to a squeeze page. So you're kind of going back and forth where you're sending them to great content, introducing them to who you are. Of course, on that content, you should have an opt-in, but then also you want to make sure you're sending them to a squeeze page from time to time so they have the opportunity to say, yes, I am interested. I saw your ad and I'm desperate for this solution, right? And so that they can, so FitPro newsletter is really helpful for that, Lisa, because you can build a specific squeeze page with a specific image that matches your Facebook ad. So let's see, final question here. Jan, I know you said to post on Facebook 3 times a day. What about sending out emails 3 times a week? Perfect. Absolutely, you want to be trying to send out 3 emails a week. You should be sending out a great piece of content, so a newsletter. Pretty sure you have FitPro newsletter, so you want to be sending out a great piece of content every week. And then the other 2 things that go out during the week, one should be like a client testimonial or a success story, or some sort of positive kind of upbeat sort of thing. And then the third piece can be a variety of things, right? It can be a health tip. It could be a, what's going on at the club sort of news update. It could be a special offer. It could be a promotional piece. It could be a recipe. There's a lot of different things that it could be. It could be a survey. Hey, I need your help. Can you help me answer this question? Why is it that you think most people in our town don't exercise, right? So obviously there are a number of different things, but consistency is key. So, all right, Kent, thanks. I was thinking more logistically, technically in terms of how to manage the lists I have. Gotcha. So the key really is to set this up from the very beginning in terms of list management. It gets a lot harder once you're 1,000 people into the list and you haven't been organizing them this way. And so you're using Aweber, which is fine. Aweber can be a little bit challenging to let you move people from one list to another because Aweber likes to be difficult. But you want to make sure that if somebody has bought a program from you, they go on that particular list. And if somebody has never bought a program from you, but they have only got your free report or opted into a squeeze page, that they go on that list, and that you can keep clear who is who in your lists. So I hope that helps. All right, folks, I'm out of time. I got to run. It's been great sharing with you. You'll get the recording. Feel free to share this recording with whoever you like, and obviously check our Facebook page often for upcoming webinars, and we'll see you next time.